In this video, we're talking all about membership communities. How do you start one? How do you grow one? And then how do you automate it? So I'm going to tell you exactly how I started a membership community that's now grossing over $100,000 a year and only takes a couple hours a month for me to manage. I never thought I'd be able to do this, so I'm kind of as shocked as you are. So let's start with pre-launch. Before you even launch this thing, you want to talk to some people. What I did is I sent an email out to my email list and said, if you are just starting a private practice, I would love to jump on a 15-minute phone call to hear about your problems and ask you some questions. We're trying to develop something new and innovative, and we want to make sure we don't miss the mark. Will you schedule a Skype call with me? Then they clicked on a link which went into Calendly, so I didn't have to go back and forth trying to find times. I had set specific times that I was going to talk with people. So then I jumped on probably around 20 different phone calls with people, and I asked them 3 simple questions. When you started your private practice, what was that experience like? What was tough? What was easy? What was helpful? Next, I said, what were the biggest pains? What do you wish would have been out there that wasn't out there to support you during that? And then third, if there was that solution that would answer all of those pains, how much would you pay per month? So when you're talking to this ideal client, you want to really get in their head. Take notes and look for themes. So for example, the 3 themes that popped up during my interviews were that people wanted quick ways to learn things. For example, they wanted to know how to blog effectively, how to get in that rhythm of blogging, and how to make it so they could rank higher in Google. They also wanted to have some sense of community, connections with other people, being able to go beyond just some basic e-course. And third, they wanted some actual tools of the trade. They wanted those things that will help them grow faster, like a logo that looks awesome. So what did we include when we wanted to launch this thing? Well, we started with some education, so webinars, live Q&As, hot seats, and some courses that were within an e-platform. We have our community, so we have small groups, accountability partners, and a private Facebook group. And then every month we give away tools of the trade that are going to help them grow and scale faster. So we heard what they said, and they gave us a range of prices of what they would pay for it. Next, after you do the interviews, you want to have a pre-launch invite list. Email your list, reach out to people and say, I'm launching this membership community, but I want to make sure that we really make the mark before we launch it big. If you want to be in the test group or the beta group or the trial group, however you want to name it, click here to sign up for the emails to get first access. Then within that list, what you want to do is make sure that you tell people, hey, this is going to be the trial group. You're getting a discounted rate in exchange for feedback. We want to know what works and what doesn't work. I'll tell you in a minute about what happened when we launched this group and how they gave us tons of feedback on webinars. But let's first talk about what does this email list do for you? It's a great way to test out whether there's a market for what you want to launch. Just say, here's what we're going to create. This coming January, we are going to launch our first cohort of this membership community. If you want first access, jump on the email list. If you get 2 people that jump on that, that gives you some pretty important information. It's not a failure, it's just information. It tells you there's probably not a big enough audience the way you framed it. Maybe you need to work on giving more free content to build that audience. Go get on podcasts, go write guest blogs, get going in this area so you actually have an audience to launch this thing. So you might, on the other side, have 100 or 200 people that sign up for this. That's going to give you great information too. So the next phase we want to talk about is how do you launch to that beta test group? So when you're launching to the beta test group, you're going to do a few things differently than you will when you do your full launch. What you're going to do is you're going to email them and send them a save the date. Here's the day we're launching at this time. We only have this number of spots. So for example, we always do our launches on a Monday morning at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So we launched it in early January. We did it at 10 a.m. and we had a series of emails that went out ahead of time. People need to hear about things more often than not. They put their email at the bottom of their email box. So let them know what's coming up. Okay, you need to be logged into PayPal. You need to be ready to go. There's only this number of spots. If you want this discounted rate, you have to take action on Monday at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then don't end there. Make sure you send an email 10 or 15 minutes after you start. So maybe it says, we've already had 15 people sign up in the first 15 minutes. Maybe you set a closing date of 48 hours or 4 days to say, all right, we're going to close. I typically see the biggest sales right at the beginning, and then it kind of goes down, and then right at the end. So you want to make sure you're doing those follow-up emails and closing that cart. So you get that beta test group. What do you do then? So once you get this beta test group, say you get 30 people that sign up for your member newsletter at a cheaper rate. We started at $55 a month, and our regular members are $77 a month. And if someone comes in when it's not a cohort, it's $100 a month. So there's an incentive to join a cohort when we launch. So this beta test group, they were paying $55 a month. What happened? Well, we did onboarding calls with every single person. I had my virtual assistant set up 15-minute calls to find out their biggest pains, what they wanted to get out of it, to really help them feel like they were connected. She then paired them into groups, assigned accountability partners, and we got them going in the Facebook group. We then launched a bunch of webinars, which was a complete disaster. We went through 3 platforms in 3 weeks. People couldn't log in, they were frustrated, they were mad, but then finally we landed on Zoom. Zoom for us was a great fit, super easy. We haven't had any major problems with it since we started. So we landed on that, but they knew for that $55 a month that they were going to give us feedback. And boy, did they give us feedback. It was tough to hear sometimes, to feel like we had failed. I had to go back and re-record webinars just using QuickTime on my computer. But that's what it took in the early phases. But then once we landed on Teachable as our e-learning platform, Zoom as the way that we did our webinars, and using PayPal to integrate with our email list on Aweber, that all flowed together. Then we were ready for a full-on launch. So how do you do a full-on launch when people are paying the full price? When you're ready to do your full-on launch, that's when you want to set up a sales page, or we might call it a lead page, that outlines what is it that people are purchasing. So we have practiceofthepractice.com/invite. When people go there, we have a video that walks them through what next level practice is like. It talks about how we have a community of people. What does community look like for us? It's the Facebook group, it's the small group, it's the accountability. What does the education look like? You know, we've got webinars, we've got self-paced e-courses, we have Q&As and hot seats. And then we have tools of the trade. So we give you free things like logos or paperwork packets or blog post images that are going to help you grow your practice faster. So we outline all of this on the page. Then we have a link to opt in for the next cohort. And so that's getting onto that original invite list. So you don't get rid of those people that didn't buy, you leave them on that invite list. And then I have a small link that says if you're ready to sign up right now and don't want to wait, for $100 a month, click here and you can join right away. So people have to pay then $25 extra per month. They can go over to Teachable, just pay there, they can skip over all of the PayPal. Now, then we get this cohort. Now we have some data from this first launch. We knew that about 4 times the people will sign up for the list, then will buy. So that means if we want to fill up 50 spots, we need to have at least 200 people on that list. But each time, those are people that didn't buy. So we need to keep getting people onto that interest list. So then we have some data where we say, okay, we've got to have 300 or 400 people on this interest list to make the next cohort really launch well. So then again, we come up to that new cohort. It's about to launch. There's the email series. Now that I've done it a few times, I hand that off to my virtual assistants. So that each cohort, they set that up, make sure the flow is going. I just do the bare minimum while tracking every single step of the way. That's how you launch. Now, after you launch, a membership community doesn't end there. That's just the sales and marketing side. We need to offer quality information. And that's where you want to have a unique way that you're offering this. What are you offering that's different? So for us, it was creating a whole ecosystem. It wasn't just an e-course. It wasn't just some webinars. It was that we had these 3 unique components. We're bringing together the things that those interviews told us that people wanted. So when you're creating a membership community, you want to look at a few things. You want to go through that process of care with everything that you do. You're going to create it, automate it, review it, then enhance it. Every single step of the way, we want to surprise people. We're always asking ourselves, how do we improve the onboarding? How do we send them things that just blow them away, that are unexpected? So one month, we sent everybody branded trucker hats and sunglasses, just as a way to say, hey, thanks for being a part of this group. The more that you can enhance your services and automate it, the more you can build that passive income. So head on over to practiceofthepractice.com/resources. We have a PDF just for you on how to grow passive income within your service-based industry. There's so many other guides there too. We have over 30 guides on how to grow your practice. We want you to start, grow, and scale quickly We've curated all the best information in one spot over at practiceofthepractice.com/resources, and it's all totally free. Also, if you want to join Next Level Practice, head on over to practiceofthepractice.com/invite, or if you just want to see our sales page, you'll get a good idea of how we're launching that 6-figure a year membership community. Have an awesome day.